Hi guys, how's it going? You've just caught me in the middle of flying my car. If you've seen my video on when I was trying to fly and I failed at that, it seems in creative mode I'm more capable of flying a vehicle than I was in survival. Anyway, that's not what we're here for today. Well, remember, if you guys could do me a massive favour and subscribe, that would be awesome. Thank you very much. Today I wanted to talk to you about steering, and in particular, realistic steering. So like rack and pinion steering, for example. I wanted to show you these two cars in front of me. Now what we've got here is, I've had a little bit of play with steering. I wanted to make things a little bit more kind of real, I guess is the best way for it. So we've got hopefully a rack and pinion kind of styled steering set up. It's pretty simple in all fairness. There is a lot of bearings involved, but we only actually steer with one bearing. Just talk you through how this all works as we're driving around. So as you see at the front, we've got the two wheels, obviously. Now those two wheels are held by two bars. One bar does the actual turning and one bar is literally just to hold the wheels straight and square. So it might not be too obvious which is which, or it might. So what we've got here is this front bar nearest the character is the one that does the actual steering, and the back bar nearest the vehicle, the rest of the body, is the one that kind of holds everything together. This first bearing that's into the body here is just literally to give us a little bit of travel in the wheels. I say a little bit, it's a bearing, so it will travel all the way. So this helps us smooth out our ride as we're going along. Then obviously what we've got is, we've got the steering bearing. This is the one that does all of the work for us. Now in order for us to get these wheels to move, I need this other bearing here, so that they kind of all shift together. Otherwise that straight bar wouldn't do anything if it was just straight into it. You see how it's all rigid? So you need that bearing on the front in order for it to move. Then we've got the bearings on the wheels. They're kind of self-explanatory. They just basically allow the travel of the wheel. So obviously we're trying to move one bar, so this front bar has to move left, so this bearing has to rotate in order for the wheel to actually move, which is under here. And then the second bearing at the back is there again to basically allow travel for this section of the wheel, because if this couldn't travel then it'd just be rigid and we wouldn't get anywhere. So this is just a basic bearing. I haven't tweaked any of this. This is still all the basic settings. It comes in at 27 degrees and a speed of 6. And it gives us this turn angle, which is, in all fairness, it's pretty steep. It's enough than what we need. But I was looking like, what happens if you wanted to have a more sharper turn angle? You wanted to have that real tight turn angle. You've got to just extend the bit between the steering and the wheels. So as you see here, we've kind of stepped it a bit and we get an even tighter turn angle. We can almost go dead flat with this. So again, this is just a standard bearing. There's nothing special about these bearings, but all we've done here, if we go get the other one, get it side by side, now that they're side by side, you'll see that the difference is literally, this is straight and this is on the bend, and it's got another additional bearing here. So this extra kind of length of an arm means that these can turn at a bigger angle. You see how they turn at a sharper angle? And you can see that it's a sharper angle because if you look at the gap between the two bars, you see how on this one there's a gap between the two bars, and then on this one that gap closes. It gives us a tighter angle. It's still just on a basic bearing as well. So you're probably wondering, how do you make it? Well, I am too, so we'll show you. It was pretty simple in all fairness, but I am going to need this to run off. I'm not going to lie to you. This is the front of our vehicle. Boop. And you can do, obviously, your own vehicle. Now, this bearing is not necessary. This is just my bearing here that allows for suspension travel. You can ignore this and just go straight from the body. But it's up to you. Either way, regardless what you do next, T-piece and then into another T-piece. Now, this can either be a T-piece first, or it can be a straight block, because you want to get things away from the body. And while we're here, we're going to go a bearing on top of this, and then a 90 pointing towards us, and then we'll slap some length down here. I'll just go for these big bars this time, and then we're going to go a 90 up, both sides. A 90 out. And then a 90 down. And you basically need 2 of those. Then, obviously, what we're going to do, we're going to go straight bar from the center. And then 90 down. And then we're going to go bearing. T-piece. And our 2 bars again each side. And then we're going to put all the elbows or the 90s, whatever you want to call them, on. So it looks exactly the same both sides. Bada bing, bada boom. So that should be where you're at. And that's pretty much the confusingly hard work done. Plonk a bearing on each of these. And then you're going to want another 90 or elbow. And tuck it this way. And tuck it this way. And then you want this weird, funky, I don't know what piece you'd call it. It's like the 3-way 90 or something. And you have it here. And the reason why you do that is because that means that you can put your wheels on this one. And job is a good one. Get your seat. Wherever you got your seat. Oop, throw your seat on your vehicle. I imagine you guys have already got your seat on your vehicle. Seat on your vehicle. And then you connect up to the first bearing that's horizontal. So this one. Makes sense. And you can take that off the lift. And jump on here. And it'll turn. It's floppy. Because you got to check your welds. If you look, this is welded. Jolly good. This is welded. Jolly good. Underneath, this is not welded. So this one's not welded together. And this one's not welded together. Always check your welds. Jump on. In you go. That is your steering done and done. If you want to extend so you can get a sharper turn circle, you just have to come off at 90 different ways. So it'll add another block of height, but for the most part it stays the same. So again, your bearings are here. Now instead of going up and joining them 2 together, you've got to come out one and then up one, and then you need another bearing on the top up here. So obviously this 90 that's out of the body has to go straight up, and then I personally come across. So we join it at 90, kind of like so. And then we just weld those all together. Bada bing, bada boom. Take it off the lift, and this will give us a little bit more travel, so that we get that sharper turn if you need to. Little questions. Does it matter which way these go? Does it matter if it's the 90 and then the 3-way? No. So if I put the 90 this side and then the 3-way this side, make sure it's welded. Get on me seat. Still turns. You might get a sharper turning angle with that, to be fair. Depends on which side. But ultimately, it doesn't matter. Keep it like that. Keep it nice and simple. And yeah, jobs are good. And it works. Nice and simple steering. With that bearing near the body, it gives it a little bit of free-flowing movement. Should you have to go over any gradients or hills or anything, it allows it to roll with it. And I know it's not everybody's, it's not everybody's choice. Most people just literally stick for the 2-bearing system that we first learn when we're learning to build a car. But if you're looking for a more realistic way of going around playing scrap mechanic, a rack and pinion steering might be the way forward. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy that, and I hope it's a little bit of use for you guys, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Take it easy. Bye for now.